So many women say they want a high value man until it's actually time to have a high value man. Being with a high value man is so much more than being with a man that has money. High value men are very big on accountability. High value men tend to be very blunt and don't sugarcoat much. You may get a little time to wallow in your feelings, but eventually it's time to move on. High value men like high maintenance women. High maintenance women is not snobby women, not mean women, not rude women. High maintenance women are women who care about the exterior as much as they care about the interior. They go to the gym, they get their hair done, they get their lashes done, they get their nails done. Whatever their exterior looks like, it's always together. Wanting to go on a 6-month hiatus and just not care about what you look like when you walk out of the house is not going to work. If that high maintenance man decided that he wasn't going to go to work and stop making money and stop paying bills, there would be a problem. High maintenance men are quiet, private, and low-key. High maintenance men do not argue, they communicate. High maintenance men will walk away from an argument before continuing to engage. High maintenance men work. So no, they're not going to sit on the phone with you for an hour in the middle of the day when they're working. High maintenance men are going to teach you. They're going to pour into the places that you are lacking.
So you guys just want to stay single, right?
True. A lot of gentlemen out there would honestly rather stay single.
Because why else would you stop approaching women in public entirely?
Other than the reason that a lot of women have told men to leave them alone, they don't want them in their lives and they don't need them, quite frankly, a lot of women's personalities really aren't conducive to an actual conversation, let alone a relationship.
Because I feel like back in the day, like early 2000s, maybe the 90s, it was so common for men to walk up to women and, start a little conversation. Nowadays, that does not seem to happen anymore.
There's a lot of men out there have woken up and seen what some women out there are really like. So, frankly, most of them would rather stay single than risk being with some of the types of women that they see every day on social media.
So tell me, why is it that you guys would rather just stay alone?
Because a lot of men have realized that it's not only easier, but it's much more peaceful being single. And not only that, but a lot of men have woken up to the fact that they have self-respect, and they don't need to be in a relationship to be considered a complete person.
Where are all the good men? We hear this time and time again on social media. Women wondering where the good men are, why they can't find a good man. And in the next breath, they're choosing what the original commenter said, which was, I chose the bear. And then this is the response to it. No, I choose men so I can traumatize them. Excuse me, what? If a man said he was going out to date women for the purpose of traumatizing them, that man would be called because that man would be a woman that wants to traumatize men is, it's not funny, it's not cute, it's not silly, it's and women say, where are all the good men? They're hiding from women that weaponize the family courts. They're hiding from women that make false allegations. They're hiding from women that steal their children. They're hiding from women that choose the bear. They're hiding from women that invalidate their emotions. They're hiding from women that want to traumatize them. They're hiding from women like you. You can't see or find good men because they're hiding from you.
Men don't like that. Women with face, hair, neck tattoos, quality men don't like that. Women walking around here with these inflated butts following behind them like wagons. There are men that like that, but it's definitely not a quality man because quality men don't like that. Women who are in and out the strip club, making it rain, acting like real live dudes. You're not a man. How unattractive. Quality men don't like that. Women who are in and out of relationships. In November you with Ray Ray, in December you with Tay Tay. Not only do you look trashy, you look nasty. Quality men don't like that. A quality man may play with that, but a quality man will never commit to that because quality men don't like women like that. However, you do you. But a quality man wants a quality lady who carries herself like a real lady. Quality men don't find shot out, thugged out women interesting, attractive, or appealing. That's why most are single, ringless, in and out of relationships because quality men won't settle down with women like that. And yes, it is a man's job for him to respect a woman, but it's a woman's job to give him something to respect. Be smart, date smart, choose wisely.
Women ruin modern dating because modern dating is an artificial system, a system created by the patriarch, a system that never served women. The patriarch and colonization taught us the hierarchy of God, masculine God, man, woman. The woman submits to man, the man submits to God. In exchange, the God gives man security, man gives women security. Now that women are valuing their freedom over this false sense of security and the patriarchal system is crumbling down, you can't dangle this security or wealth over their head. They can get the same job as you, the same car, the same house. They can become a millionaire or billionaire just like you. So to them, it really doesn't matter. The only women you're attracting by dangling security or wealth out there as bait is gold diggers. People that's gonna set you up, rob you, step on you, just get over on you. And that's not necessarily bad because you attracting the women that's equivalent to you. That's how you think on the inside. That's how you think it work. Now you attracting women that's on the same energetic field as you. You can't buy a good woman. If you want a better woman, you need to upgrade your self-concept and change how you think about women. Then you'll come into contact with better women, great women, women of a higher self-awareness, righteous.
Most of my guy friends are single right now, and this is why. Talking about my friends, they're hustlers. And so in their mind, they're thinking not only would a girl be kind of a distraction right now, but the girl that they could get right now is nowhere near as good as the one that they could get in 5 years when they're richer, when they're more successful, when they're more established.
First of all, it's really easy to say that you don't want a relationship when a woman doesn't want a relationship with you. Women have collectively decided to raise their standards, and the truth is a lot of men these days don't meet those standards. A man being able to only pay the light bill is not going to cut it. Women want financial stability. This isn't new. Y'all try to act like it's new, but it's not. Back in the days when women didn't have bank accounts, didn't have jobs, they did select partners who could financially provide for them and their future children. Stop acting like women these days are so new and what's wrong with them and this is so revolutionary and these are modern women. Women have always expected a man to provide. You're modern because you expect a woman to split bills with you, and no woman in history has ever been asked that. And then with this bootleg vague threat, like, you guys are going to want us in 5 to 10 years. We're going to be the ones with the money, and you're going to wish you hadn't hated on us when we were in our 20s. You're getting princess treatment. You're getting flown out. You're getting spoiled by these men who have money right now. And when we get the money, we're not going to want you. Those women don't care. The reason why there's so many single men out there is because we are asking you to be better, and some of these men are refusing to. You're digging in your heels, you're being stubborn, and you're going to stay single until you change. Women are evolving. Evolve with us or get left.
The Manosphere says that the dating market is rigged against men. Here's what the data actually shows. On dating apps, men match at significantly lower rates. Men initiate more and receive fewer responses. These are well-documented patterns, but the conclusion drawn from those numbers is often wrong. The data doesn't show a rigged system, it shows a misaligned one. Most men are competing for a small percentage of women while overlooking the majority. The women's experience isn't much better. It's hard, but in a different way. They have more matches and more options, but they also get more unsolicited messages, so they have to spend more time filtering for safety, for misrepresentation, just sorting through all of the annoying douchebags. The bigger truth here is that dating apps are statistically not working for anybody. They are not built in a way to represent what creates meaningful and lasting relationships. They over-index on the superficial and the ease of rejecting people. The research, when you dig into it, points to the same thing it's always pointed to, is get off your screen, go into the real world, talk to a human being face to face, and tell them you like them.
I'm standing on the train and look at all these men. What happened to giving up your seat for women? No, man.
I feel like a hard thing for a lot of people to swallow is that chivalry is rooted in misogyny, okay? Just objectively. Anytime something like this comes up, I want you to ask yourself, okay, so men should do XYZ for women. Because in this instance, men should give up their seats for women because are women's legs not as strong? Do women get tired more easily? What's going on here? Another hard pill to swallow is if we genuinely want a lot of men to view women as equals, this is going to be the status quo. And I told you guys after the election, I'll bring this up every time it comes up. You wanted men to elect a woman to be president, but somehow women can't even stand up on public transportation. But of course, women can do both of those things, all right? But the problem is, since chivalry has been such an established thing, and it's been established as like being like a gentleman, blah, 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 and it seems like a nice thing, it's seen as rude to not abide by these norms. But the thing is, if you break down the norms as to what they are, it is not very kind towards women. Again, like if you ask yourself, why am I doing this? It's not a very good reason. Like, oh, why am I opening a door for this woman? You know, because women shouldn't open doors? Is it because their arms aren't as strong? Oh, I'm paying for this woman's food because she can't pay it. She can't. Obviously, there's exceptions to this. Like if a woman's getting in front of you, like stepping in, like that's just human decency. Because if you're seeing anybody get like, you know, beat up or something, like it's probably a better idea to step in. But you understand the general vibe of what I'm saying. Every single gentlemanly act that you can do for a woman is saying that that woman is inept at doing that act. Some people are like, oh, but you know, it's just a kind gesture, blah, blah, blah. If you wouldn't do the same gesture for a man, it's not just a kind gesture, it's misogyny, okay?
I think once again, we're always going to blame the men for, oh, well, you got modern women dating in a patriarchal whatever society, you know, and now you can't dangle the carrot of security and stuff like that. Modern women want security. Stupid. Modern women want that. I can buy this, I can buy that. at the end of the day, they could be a billionaire. I'm going to want you to have your own stuff. So if I go down, you can take care of both of us. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce just got married. Travis Kelce is not broke. Taylor Swift is definitely not broke. But Taylor Swift didn't marry a bum either. Keke Palmer. She did all of that trash talking about why can't I be with whoever I want to be with, and then went in there and got with the brother from Hot Ones. I don't think he's broke. I think people know him a lot. So these women are getting with men, oh, he got to be on my level. Which way? Educationally, because there are a lot of educated men out here. So what are you talking? Well, he's got to have, somewhere around the same money that I do. How come it seems that y'all are getting with men who have more money than you? Way more money than you. If it was about, I don't need to be secure. You want to be financially guaranteed. You've already gotten a job out there and you're secure. I feel secure because I got myself. But I want somebody to guarantee me. Right? Men are, and we continue to say, oh, well, you're looking, a gold digger is going to be on your level. No. Once again, sometimes you need to shut the camera off and think about what's actually happening. You need to think about the dynamic. If a woman, you forgot about companionship. You also forgot about two people helping each other. There might be a woman, I think she was saying, actually, there was a woman riding in the back of a car. If I get with a man and I'm a millionaire, I want to be a billionaire. So I don't want to get with a man that's a millionaire. He's thinking too small for me. I want to get with a man who's a billionaire or thinks like a billionaire so we can level up together. What she's looking for is teamwork to drive the vision together. And that's what they say. And a lot of times that's what they want to do. But in reality and in practice, that's not what happens. In reality and practice, because we can talk about all of this nonsense, but when the rubber meets the road, the man is going to slide right on in front because that's where the woman wants him. That doesn't mean that she's any less of a person. That doesn't mean that she's an idiot. That doesn't mean that she's incapable of doing it. A lot of women would rather, okay, you slide up here. Right here, you take the lead. That's why they say, I don't want to plan the date. You do it. Okay. At the end of the day, I want somebody in my corner that's my rock, that's competent enough to make decisions. Most of the time, I would like us to make decisions together, but I want him to be competent. So if something should happen, he can make decisions and I can trust him to make a decision. Whenever I'm crying because my emotions get the best of me, I want him to be my rock. I want to know that I can lean on him. So at the end of the day, the man is going to be the solid foundation. Stop that stuff.
Men do not want trad wives, and it's well past the time we should stop pretending that they do. I'm not saying they don't want a woman to do everything for them and to be this traditional sweet little housewife and raise the kids and all that. That's not what I'm saying. Because those women are out there. Those women are easy to find. They're a dime a dozen, right? Men don't go after those women that are already trad wives. What they do is they go after the independent, successful, strong-willed women and turn them into trad wives. I'm going to relate this back to the way I was raised, so just stick with me. I was raised on a farm. We had horses. We had cows. I went the rodeo circuit, okay? I was a barrel racer. I roped goats. I roped all of it. And without fail, there's not a single man out there who ever trained a horse who went for the one that was the easy mark. You don't grab a horse out of the pack that already kind of knows what's going on, that's already willing to listen to you, the one that's easy to train. You don't pick those because they're not a challenge. In order to prove your worth as a cowboy and to prove your worth as a man to your buddies that are over there watching, you grab the most headstrong horse you can find out of that pack and you break them and you mold them to your will and you force them to behave the way these other horses already behave, but that one didn't. And that makes you a good trainer, at least in the circles I ran in. And this transfers over into the relationships between men and women. The type of men who desire the type of trad wife that's out there are not looking for these easy marks. The women who already have children, the women who already know how to keep a home and do all these things around the household. They don't want those women. They want the Hallmark movie where the successful independent businesswoman comes to the small town, meets the Christmas tree farmer, falls for him, and starts popping out kids. And honestly, it's because these men are weak. They don't want to have a partner who challenges them. They want someone who listens and does what they're told. And to those guys, I say, get a dog.
Women are too emotional. I've never seen a woman punch a hole in the wall. Yeah, I've seen women cry, sure. I've seen journaling. I've seen long walks, voice notes, deep conversations with friends. What I haven't seen is a woman lose an argument and immediately start violently remodeling the house. Men will experience one mild inconvenience and suddenly drywall is in danger. A woman gets upset and wants to talk it through. A man gets upset and needs space, silence, and possibly a contractor to repair the damage. Women feel emotions internally. Men externalize them into objects. That's the difference. Okay. A woman says I'm fine and means I need time. A man says I'm fine and 5 minutes later a door slams so hard the frame is questioning its purpose. But somehow women are labeled the emotional ones because they cry instead of committing property damage. I've never seen a woman get mad and throw a controller across the room. I've never seen a woman lose a game and start yelling at furniture like it personally betrayed her. So yeah, women are emotional and they just express it without causing structural issues. So if your feelings require repairs afterward, maybe emotions aren't the problem.
Why are young black couples not getting married? Specifically, why are young black men not asking?
The modern man there's a lot less incentive on getting married nowadays. Many would argue that in the modern society, the man stands more to lose. Because you understand, and this is a philosophy that I wrote when I was in high school, men look at women as investments. So a real man, like a real elite top tier man, we look at women as investments. Not as in, what's in it for us, give and take. It's an emotional investment. It's a spiritual investment. Women look at men for a different type of, not so much investment. They're looking for, you're more based off of safety, security. You're in that realm of like, make me feel good, make me feel safe, make me confident that I made the right choice. We're generally looking at women as we bring them a seed and we just need you to help it grow. That's it. So when men say, you're not supporting me, they're basically saying, hey, I have a seed here. Can I get some water? So in the modern society, I think why men aren't asking is because there's fears of having that failed return on investment.
A lot of heterosexual men don't like women.
A lot of straight men want access to women's bodies. They're not actually attracted to women outside of what they can use them for.
Men don't like women. This is just allowing women to avoid accountability even further. Men don't like women because women are unlikable. The women that the culture industry produces in the modern era are unlikable. Well, what about the fact that women seem to just select for men that don't like women and only objectify women? Not pandering for a woman's approval, not deferring to a woman for her evaluation. This is a signal of high value and high status. This is what women select for. So it seems to me that female mating preferences have something to do with this, huh? Goes even deeper than that. Marrying for romantic love is an experiment that is only 100 years old. Before this, men and women got married as a form of alliance. It was an economic decision. This idea of marry your best friend and process all of your feelings together for the rest of your life is a 100-year-old concept. If you zoom out on human history, that is a blink of the eye. Historically, men have had other male companions and community and tribe. These are low-effort relationships. The relationship that women claim to want in a marriage, the problem is that they want all of their boxes checked. This is already arbitrary. And then the boxes change, the goalposts move. You cannot satisfy a woman. The way that women want to be loved is a function of how much love they think they can get, and then once they get it, they need more. Do you not understand the mechanism? But back to how women are unlikable, bro. They have self-justifying desires, and their feelings are automatically fact. They blame men for everything, and then they sell therapy to men for failing to love them correctly.
Women are choosing being single over settling. Men are going to stay lonely until they accept why that is. And I want to be clear about what I mean. This is not about women hating men. This is about women adapting to a cultural shift that men haven't caught up to yet. There's a generation of men who were taught that showing up financially was enough, that emotional availability was optional, that household responsibilities, emotional labor, that was a her department. And women tolerated it because the alternative was harder. It's not harder anymore. Women are leaving unengaged partners. They're leaving men who won't work on the relationship, won't balance the responsibilities of a house, won't show up emotionally. And then they're looking at what's available and deciding that being alone is actually the better option. Divorced women are choosing not to date again in significant rates. Not because they hate men, because the effort required to manage another one isn't worth what they're getting back. So if men are lonely, the question worth asking is not what women are doing wrong, it's this. Do you want to stay lonely or do you want to adapt? Because women already did.
This is why a lot of men are minding their business rather than approaching women. Now pay attention.
Right now, you cannot legally interact with women without a consequence. This is true. There are consequences for approaching women in public. There are consequences for approaching women at the gym. There's a consequence for getting into a relationship with a woman where she could potentially trap you with the kid, or she could also potentially put you on child support, alimony. If you have a child, she can come back 10 years later and say that you. This is how much power that women have. And it's interesting because instead of listening to the grievances of men and understanding them, notice how women always blame the culture, they never blame women. And if you blame women, you become the bad guy. You become evil. Women are very influenced by the culture. Women are very influenced by their friends. Women are very influenced by their family. Women are influenced by everybody around them. Women are in control of the culture. The media caters to women. The laws cater to women. So who is responsible for the destruction of society? Women.
This is why I tell you men, you have to be extremely careful who you give your semen to, because some of these women will set you back for generations. That is a sickness. And this is why I always tell you men, hold these women accountable. Do you see how it's their body, their choice, their baby? They want it to be theirs, but then they want help when it comes to financial provision. The baby's yours. Your body's yours. The choice was yours, but my money is ours. Let me run that back for you. Hold up, because I'm cooking with grease here. Hold up. Your body's yours. The baby's yours. The choice is yours. But the money, the financial part is ours. Be for real, fellas. Never in life deal with.
So 70% of women initiate divorce. Is it because women get to a certain age and they think they've settled? Is it because women are now making the same money or similar money or have similar jobs as men, and so they're like, we're not going to put up with this anymore? Is it because their expectations are too high? Is it because life changes, you meet somebody when you're young and you just decide, I don't want to do this anymore? Or is it because men tend to fall in love much quicker than women do? So do women just then fall out of love faster? What is it? What do you think? Listen to our latest episode. It's all about divorce and why it's initiated by women.
Once again, we gotta stop this stupidity, because that's exactly what it is. It's stupidity. One guy was talking about, I've never seen women, because men like to say, I guess, women are too emotional. But I've never seen a woman punch a hole in a wall. Have you seen a woman key a car? Have you seen a woman pick up a pan, try to hit a man all over the top of his head with it? Have you seen a woman start swinging on a man when she gets upset because she didn't like what he said or she thought he did something? Have you seen a woman wake up out of a dream, mad at the man, following him all around the house, checking his phone because she had a dream about something that she thought he did? Have you ever seen a woman pull a knife on a man and chase him around the house? You never seen any of those things? Never heard about any of those things? You know what I mean? We got to stop this stupidity. Oh, women, they're not that emotionally unstable. Are you sure? Never seen a woman get in court and cry? Boo-hoo. Oh my God. What's that girl's name? Mackenzie or whatever her name is. Netflix. Ran them boys into a wall and then try to make it seem like, oh, I don't know what happened. Car just got here, hit a wall, killed both them boys. You never seen a woman get mad? What do they be talking about out here, man?
As a short man, I've been shamed way more for my height by men than women. The thing is, that's because the women are hiding from you. They don't want to see you at all, and they don't want you seeing them. 90% of the women I've met in real life will say horrible things and bash short men. Now, why do we have such different experiences? Where are these women coming from? The thing is, they feel comfortable around me because I'm not one of you. But yes, there are plenty of women in the world who do not care about height, and those are the ones that talk to you. Look at it this way. I've never in real life ever heard any woman say something bad about my earrings. But online, I always hear women say they'll never talk to a man or date a man who wears drop earrings, but they're never on that kind of timing in real life. Now, as part of that reasoning that I'm handsome and charismatic so I can kind of just get through that firewall, you betcha. But another reason is these women don't make themselves known to me because they don't want to talk to me because I'm wearing the earrings that they don't like. I could be delusional and say, oh, it's only on the internet where women complain about earrings. But the thing is, even when people say things on the internet, they have to log off and go somewhere, right? Like, they're real people. I hate when people say, oh, this is a take you only hear online. It's like, these people have to be somewhere in the real world, right? They're not all just magical computer people. You just don't see them. So short men, I assure you that women do say bad things about you. They just say it to me. I love it when they do that because that just means I'll never be outdone. Like, everyone they've ever talked to or ever will talk to will always be shorter than me and or less handsome than me unless they date Kelly Oubre. Yeah, but anyways, also to get back on topic, I don't think I can say the same for men. I think some men will go out of their way to like harass somebody. So that's part of it. But yeah, no, all in all, yeah, they're definitely saying bad things about you. Trust me, I hear it every day.
Divorced men who swear off women aren't healed. They're hiding. The man who says he's done with all women, that we're all crazy, that we're all broken and not worth his time, he's not protecting his peace. He's avoiding the one question that would actually change his life and perspective, which is, why do you keep attracting or are attracted to those types of women in the first place? Because here's the thing about resentment. It feels powerful. It feels like a decision. It feels justified. But resentment without reflection just keeps you stuck in the same place. And swearing off an entire gender is not a personality trait. It's a wound wearing sunglasses. If every woman you have been with has been crazy or broken or not worth your time, at some point you have to ask yourself what the common denominator is. Not to beat yourself up, but because without that question, you're going to keep finding the same person in a different body. That's not godlike, that's not unbothered, that is just a man who is too scared to look in the mirror. Do the work, or keep collecting the same story with different names.
I just heard someone say, women don't choose bad men. Men hide who they are until they're comfortable.
Oh, I bet you heard that, because some women have selective hearing. Here, I'll do exactly what you did. Women don't hear facts. They hear what they want to hear. Now, obviously not all women, but genuinely, if a man came up on this app and was like, yo, dude, men don't actually choose crazy women. No. Women hide their crazy until it's too late. You'd be like, dude, that's cope. Choose better. Learn to read the signals. In hindsight, like, first time you are with a crazy woman, by the way, you don't realize it until it's too late. That I'll grant you. But there is signs leading up to it. That's what hindsight's 20/20. So the next time you're on the first and second and third date, you will recognize those signs. Let's not disable our women, right? Give accountability back to these women. I'm begging you. Like, she really thought she ate, bro. All you're doing is you're acting like women are children. Like, they're not responsible for anything that happens to them ever. And that is literally insulting to a grown adult. And I'll be honest with you, bro, the internet's tired of it.
We have made it so difficult for men to get women, and everyone, both sexes, are suffering as a result. The solution to the dating crisis is actually pretty simple. Simple, not easy. And it involves two things. 1, women need to be able to see the same men repeatedly, and 2, men need to be able to demonstrate some form of competence in front of women. The problem is, we've destroyed a lot of the places where this used to happen naturally, and the rest of the places we've mostly made it socially unacceptable to do. It's why dating apps aren't working out that well for women. They need places where they can warm up to a guy. Otherwise, they'll just swipe through and pick the tallest, richest one and call it a day and wonder why they're miserable in a couple years. And men need to be able to show off something other than just being tall and hot, which is basically all dating apps allow you to show. So if you have any other skill or ability ability your way to stand out, good luck. There's a reason that high school boys carry a lot of chairs at church youth group. There's a reason that a guy scoring a touchdown or doing a sick guitar solo is rarely alone later in the night. He's able to invent his attractiveness. He's able to say, hey, I'm top dog in this domain. Meanwhile, apps have narrowed the domains that you can succeed in, basically attractiveness, height, and to the degree that you can signal it wealth. But here's where my issue is. We have societally made it pretty unacceptable for men to ask women out at basically all of the places where women see men frequently and where men can demonstrate any kind of flex. Like, everyone loves Jim and Pam in the millennial generation, but they actually hate office romance. And Gen Z is very much following in their footsteps. Now, there are still some environments where this is possible, but they're very much environments that you have to actively opt into. Social dancing, run clubs, volunteer work, church groups, political campaigns. And to be clear, I think these things are all good and you should opt into them, but we have to also recognize that societally we're starting to handicap ourselves by narrowing the number of places where you can socially acceptably ask someone out, because it's gotten so narrow that now only dating apps fit the bill.
There needs to be a study done on how detrimental dating apps are for men specifically by giving them the illusion of infinite choice. And that harms everybody because women are the ones who choose. Evolutionarily, women are the ones who pick their partners. Women are the ones in heterosexual relationships who choose who they reproduce with. But when men approach dating and relationships like they're playing a slot machine at the casino, just one more pull, just one more date, just one more woman, then I'm going to win the jackpot, then I'm going to find the one. No, that's not how it works. All women are the jackpot. The woman is the prize when she picks you. That's how you win. When she picks you, when she chooses you, when she loves you, that's when you win. You don't get to choose. As men, you are not the ones choosing. That's why when you get on your dating app and you have 3 likes and we have hundreds of likes, we're the ones choosing. That's how this works. You just have to be a good enough man that's worth being chosen. That's the best you can hope for. And when somebody picks you, when someone chooses you, you hold on to that and you cherish that and you keep that for the rest of your life. Because what ends up happening is men's wives will get diagnosed with breast cancer and they leave them at alarming rates because they have the illusion of infinite choice. They think that they are the prize. And I say this with love and respect and admiration and appreciation for men. You're not the prize. That's why you have 3 likes and I have 200. I am the prize. I am the one people are fighting over. You just have to be good enough, worth being chosen, and loved by a good woman. Otherwise, you're going to be alone and lonely and at 45. Your choice.
This might sound crazy, but I think that this person is onto something, because what I will say is that I've also spoken to some male friends about these unrealistic standards around dating and these expectations that some women hold around, you know, well, if he's not buying me XYZ, then like, why would I be with him? You know, a friend had shared that he once didn't like get a second date with a girl because she was turned off by the fact that he didn't call her like an Uber black car or something. And these types of stories really piss me off because it's painting this really negative picture that like most and all women just want men to pay for things. And I'm sure there are women out there like that. And that's a problem because that's not a real relationship. Just expecting that a man financially provides everything for you. At least that's not my idea of a relationship. So the men that are subjected to these types of women, I really, you know, I can understand why there's this resentment or there's this pressure placed on men if they think that most women are like this. So women should not be demanding in that way. I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that's a healthy basis or foundation of a relationship. So I can see how that perpetuates these feelings among men. But this is a whole separate topic also. Like, it's part of the bigger problem. It's part of the conversation, but it's like a tangential, like, separate dialogue too.
It just came out 4 hours ago about women infidelity. Take a guess of what percentage of women cheat in a relationship that's 90 days old. Now, after, it's a lot lower, but 90-day-old, 3-month-old relationship, What percentage of women in a 3-month-old relationship, from date number 1 all the way till day 90, what percentage of women are with another man in that time period? Yep. You guessed it. And no, it wasn't 5%. It was 100%. And that's a crazy study. 500 participants, literally 100%. I thought it was trolling. I just kept reading the study and I was like, huh, I knew it.
I don't think women understand that men don't want to provide for the woman who says, oh, I deserve it. Oh, as he should. No, like men want to provide for the woman who says, thank you so much. Like, thank you. You really changed my life. You really like make my life easier. Like, thank you. I want to make your life easier in a lot of ways too. Like, it should be this mutual respect for one another, because a man is not going to be respected when you're saying, oh, as he should. As he should. He should give me that. Like, it's so damaging to relationships nowadays. But that's just my opinion.
I don't think a lot of women understand that, you know, if a man swears off divorce, when he says, I don't want to date anymore, you're saying that he's not healed. Maybe not. But also, even while he's trying to do his healing and all of that stuff, when you get married, it's one person that can really like devastate you. So this might be, because once again, you know, people continue to say that men don't pour into relationships, but they do. They expend a lot of resources into relationships, into women, children, the people they love. And then after 15 years of building, somebody can walk in and say, this no longer belongs to you. That's a hostile takeover. That is somebody coming in and ripping everything away that you've been working for all of those years. And in some situations, decades long work. And so when a man is saying, I don't want to be with a woman, I don't know if he necessarily means he doesn't like women. I just think that he's very cautious. We look at John Cena and the way he handled the situation with his ex, and a lot of other celebrities that when you leave them, you have provided the woman a good life, but yet and still she's trying to take things from you instead of saying thank you.
Okay, I want to address something that I think is really important. I feel like a lot of men are tired of women, and I actually understand why, and I get it. Us as women can be very delusional sometimes, and I know people might come in the comments and hate me for saying this, but it's very true. We require things from men that we shouldn't actually require, especially if you know you are not interested in that man or want anything from that man. You still require him to treat you with things that you shouldn't really be obtaining. And if you think about it deeply, if you had a son, would you want your son to spend money on a woman that he doesn't know is sure about him? Would you want your son to consistently be putting himself out for a woman that does nothing in return for him? Now, I'm not saying that a woman should bend over backwards for a man that's not her boyfriend or her husband, but I'm saying give a little where it's due. Do you get what I'm saying here? I feel like a lot of the times women, as women, we dismiss men. We dismiss how they feel, we dismiss their boundaries, and we kind of make them feel like less than. And it's not nice. Men have emotions, they feel too. And I feel like even when we as women say we want our man to have emotions, we want him to have that, as soon as he lets out his emotions, what happens? He's a Do we need to have more grace when it comes to men? Or are we at the point where we as women are just tired of men, so we just be saying what we want to say in retaliation to the anger that we feel inside for them? Comment below.
Should women submit to men?
No.
Women should not submit to men?
No.
Okay. Are you Christian?
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree with her on those things? This is completely incoherent and contradictory to your own worldview that you claim to be a part of, your own perspective. You claim to be Christians. Ephesians 5:22, wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church. Now as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything. Do you believe that the Bible is the inspired word of God?
Yes.
If scripture is God-breathed, then rejecting clear commands is disagreement with God. Do you disagree with God?
No.
Okay, so the scripture that I cited to you before, wives obey your husbands, wives submit yourselves to your husbands, you guys are disagreeing with the scripture. So you're disagreeing with God. Is that tenable as a Christian?
No, it is not.
I just wish more women understood that men don't hate you. Men are hurting. Men are isolated. Men feel invisible. And nobody ever taught us to talk about it. And for the first time in history, men are falling behind across education, income, and even like emotional health. And that's what you're seeing. It's not hatred. It's not anger toward women. It's just men. We're drowning silently because they don't know where they fit in the world anymore. And we don't hate you. We admire you. We're inspired by you. But a lot of men feel like just like failures, not because of women, but because they've lost like their sense of worth in the world. And don't get me wrong, of course we love the advancement of women, but the world just suddenly stopped teaching boys how to become men. So, ladies, when you see a man who's distant, detached, or shut down, you're not seeing a man who hates women. You're seeing a man who doesn't feel like he's enough for anyone, including himself. Masculinity abandons a new boy every single day. Most men aren't fighting you, they're fighting themselves. And what they really want is just to be understood, respected, and seen again.
For women, be competent and be consistent and be reliable and handle. Women find it attractive that men handle. Okay, why do we have to run from that? Why do we have to say that's a bad thing? How is that any worse than saying, hey, men want women who will have sex with them enthusiastically? Okay, that's what we like. That's what we want. Just accept it. You can sit there and be like, well, okay, well, you can all over you want, but it's how it is, right? The sky should be this color. Well, it's the color it is. Sorry, that's reality, right? So this is reality. And okay, what do women want? What's the woman equivalent of? Maybe for some women, it's all. But for some women, for a lot of women, it seems like it's a man who can handle his, right? And who can handle some of her and take some of it off of her plate and make her feel like she's taken care of and protected. That's that protector-provider thing. Does that mean you have to be wealthy? No. Does that mean you have to be good at everything? No. But does it mean that you don't go, I don't know? No, yeah, that's exactly what it means. Because she would like to be able to not have to figure it out. She'd like you to figure it out or help her figure it out or find someone who can figure it out. This does not seem like that big of an ask, men. Get out there, do it. You can do it. If we can ask them to do all kinds of things that seem complicated to me.
The only people I ever see say body count doesn't matter are feminist women and pleasure-driven men who benefit from casual hookups. And both of them are hurting women. Here's the thing about feminist women who say body count doesn't matter. Ask them what theirs is and they won't even tell you. And that tells you everything. The things that truly don't matter to you, you talk about freely. You don't have to hesitate. And the fact that they go quiet means they already know. They know that a high body count isn't something to be be proud of. They just don't want to be held accountable for it. A lot of these feminist women, they say they want a masculine man, they say they want love and they want commitment. They're always the ones asking why are there no good men left, because they refuse to listen to what men actually want. Masculine men, I'm not talking about the ones that are chasing hookups, I'm talking about masculine men, have said over and over again that body count matters to them. And women call them misogynistic for it instead of just listening. If you want a man to commit to you, at some point you have to care about what he actually wants. You can't reject everything that a man values and then wonder why he won't commit to you. Body count doesn't matter until you want to get into a relationship with a purpose-driven masculine man, then it matters a lot.
A lot of married men are on the down low. Down low meaning they like women and they also like men. But they're married to or are in partnerships with women because they can't publicly be in partnerships with men. So they're on the down low. Here's how to tell if your man is on the down low, which is something you should absolutely know because these men are dangerous because they're living double lives. Is he a cheater? Is he an alcoholic? Is he homophobic? Does he prefer it from the back? Is he a homophobic? Do you ever find your missing, your chonies? Are they ever missing? Is your makeup missing? Because some of these men, when they go on their side quests with their side men, they will sometimes wear makeup and wig. Have you found a wig laying around? If you think your man is on the DL, you better find out for sure because they're dangerous. Because they will take it out on you because they are not living an authentic life, the life that they really want to live because they have fear of how they're going to be perceived by the public and their families and friends and everybody.
The worst thing a woman can do, statistically speaking, is to get married to a man.
Let's double check.
Married women do not live as long as single women.
The opposite is actually true. Large-scale longitudinal data shows that married women past 65 live about 2 years longer than unmarried women. The same goes for men.
They do not earn as much money as single women.
This blames marriage for what is actually a motherhood gap. Married women who don't have children actually make 2% more than unmarried women without children.
They are not as happy as single women.
This claim actually comes from a famous book that misread its own data. 40 years of GSS data show a 30-point happiness premium favoring married couples over single women and men. My goal here isn't to criticize women or men who are choosing to stay single, but as someone trying to build a community around how men can be better partners, please don't feel shame if you want to find happiness in marriage.
What is your opinion of women? What is my personal opinion of women? Well, I don't really think that's even relevant to the point I just made. I would say that it's all pretty statistically backed, right? So we take a look at, all the stats that are released by like the online dating apps, and how the bottom 80% of women are going for the top 20% of the profiles on there. So even that's enough to kind of justify that hypergamy is a real thing and that there is something going on that's horribly wrong with society. What do you think that is? Well, it's like I just said, it's female hypergamy.
There is only one thing and one thing only that all women want. What that is whether or not she feels that you are somebody she can manipulate and lead. And what I mean by this is majority of women don't want to manipulate a man. They don't want that. They want a man that is intelligent, he can lead, and he can make the decisions. But if she meets a man that she can manipulate, who is naive, who believes everything, who will give her everything she wants without her having to earn it or respect him or be loyal to him, and he still just keeps giving to her, she will automatically lose all respect for you.
So modern women are just gonna say whatever they want to say and be lying the whole entire time. Just be lying the whole entire time is really what it is. So there was a woman talking about when a man basically is married to a woman, if she gets sick with specifically multiple sclerosis or cancer, then he's 6 more times likely to leave her than if it were vice versa. So basically, if a man got sick with the 2 diagnoses that I just mentioned, then about 3% of the time the marriage would end in divorce or separation. And obviously when the woman got sick, then the marriage, about 21% of the time the marriage would end or either through divorce or separation, right? Now, the study, as it was saying here, did not hold up. It was later corrected because of a data handling error, right? In the original analysis, patients who were simply lost to follow-up, who dropped out of the study for unknown reasons, they were miscoded, and this error skewed heavily in a way that manufactured the gender gap. When the data were re-examined, the dramatic disparity largely disappeared, and divorce and separation rates between male and female patients came out far closer to each other than the headline suggested. A couple of things worth flagging here, so you can be a little bit more accurate. The 6 times more likely number that is circulating massively in the press and is still repeated constantly. You'll find it cited in medical papers and news articles to this day, often without any mention of the correction. Exactly. Because do modern women ever take accountability? Of course not. So encountering it doesn't mean you misremembered it. It means the retraction never traveled nearly as far as the original claim did. Lying is what they mean. What is that? A lie spreads faster than the truth. And boy, do these modern women know how to lie. This is a well-documented case of misinformation persisting long after the underlying finding was undermined. There's also frequent conflation with a separate 2015 study in Sickness and in Health, which looked at illness in marital dissolution in older couples. That study's headline finding that a wife getting seriously ill raised divorce probability while a husband's illness didn't, also fell apart when another lab couldn't replicate the numbers and a coding error surfaced. So you actually have 2 prominent studies in this space published 6 years apart that both generated the same striking men leave sick wives narrative, and both had their central claim undermined by data errors. So basically, people lying. Of course,